Welcome to this video, guys. In this video we're going to learn about enhanced object literals and modules exports and imports. Okay, so let me go walk you through the object literals. Okay, enhanced object literals. Let's suppose think that we have a function in which we're taking the arguments name and age. When we're making this object, the key of this object also the same as names. Okay, I mean variable names, name and age. See here the name and age, and key value also name and age. In that scenario, using the destructuring syntax, we can use like this name and age in object. So the key and value will become the name. Okay, so this is what we can see that it is a shorthand syntax. Okay, and coming to when we're making the functions in our objects, in the object we are giving the value as a function, then you can simply write a greet as a function. Okay, again a shorthand syntax. When coming to giving the dynamic properties in before ES6 we're going to give like this, so we're going to assign person of keys like this, but now we can directly write like this. Okay, key and 25. This object literals is similar to like destructuring only. Okay, so that's why I'm not giving examples on it. You just read the context, you will get it. Coming to modules exports and imports. Okay, in a Node.js we can see whatever the packages we want, either from the npm packages we installed or the packages or the files we created. We want to functions from one file to another file. We cannot write all things in one file, right? So we will use imports and exports. Okay, actually in common JS, the JS which is by default they are using the require. Okay, but we can use exports and imports. Okay, it will give the better way of you know syntactical wise and functional wise. I will tell you what is that. Let's suppose that we have a two functions add multiply in a file, so we can decide whatever the files we want to export, so we can export only those things using the export. Okay, functionality export, and then we can import the same functions using the destructuring syntax. You can see here add and multiply, so we are getting these things. Okay, and then there is one more option called default function. Okay, default, which means by default it will upload this function, so you don't need a destructuring syntax. You just directly write whatever the variable name you want, then you will get that function here. You can use that one. Coming to the alias, let's suppose in a scenario you have a variable called subtract in your file. Okay, again you are importing another function which is name also subtract, then there is a naming collision, right? To avoid that things we will use alias. Okay, so using the alias, it's like a nickname of the person, guys. If you have two persons with the same name like Arun, then what we'll say, you will call with some surname or some roll number like that, right? So in the similar fashion, to avoid the collision of the names, so we will do use this alias functionality. Okay, subtract as minus. Okay, like this. Next, importing everything. It is a wildcard symbol, we can say wildcard. So we can import all the functions which are exported from this file. Okay, math function. Okay, so and we are giving one name, so we can pick from name to all other functionalities. Okay, this is the functional difference, guys. That is dynamic import. Okay, between the common JS and this one dynamic import. Let's suppose say we don't require all the files to be loaded in a at the single attempt, especially this kind of things used in front end. But we can use in a backend also, and at the time of configuration, some configurations you want to load at a dynamic runtime. Okay, dynamically, then we can use this kind of syntax. So what it will do, dynamically import whatever the files you want in the runtime. Okay, so this is the small syntax, very small syntax. If you see same syntax, but we are just awaiting to load. Okay, okay, this is the dynamic part. Okay, but the thing is this exports and import is not by default with the Node.js. So what we have to do to use this one, we have to add a type as module in package.json, so then only we can use exports and imports, otherwise we cannot use this one. Okay, okay, this is the major key differences, of course we discussed. Let me just recap. Default in Node.js, common JS is the default in Node.js. For imports and exports, we have to add a small configuration package.json. Asynchronous, yeah, this one imports and export is asynchronous one. We can import dynamically also. Yeah, this is used mostly in the browser. Of course, we don't use this one in the browsers. If you learn any framework, front-end framework like React.js, AngularJS, this kind of Vue.js, this kind of things, you will mostly see this imports and exports there. This module, okay, refer to the modular export, and this one is undefined. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to explain with the example. Okay, thank you for watching.